Good evening, everybody. It always surprises me. It surprises me that anyway. How are we all doing? Okay. Hope you're all good. Let's see who's on. Let's have a look and see who's on. Let's have some hellos and what have you. Don't forget, you can look at us now on the website. You can follow us on Facebook, and please follow us on LinkedIn. Getting a nice bunch of followers on LinkedIn, but if you're looking on Facebook as well, let's have a look at you on Facebook as well. And you can also follow us on YouTube as well. So, looks like we're streaming well. We've got 5 online on Facebook. We've got quite a few on the other Facebook. We've got we've got some viewers. Oh, great. We've got quite a few viewers and what have you. Yeah, so thanks for coming on board and thanks everybody for watching. It's much appreciated. Let's see if we've got, oh, crikey, we've got a few people on. So here we go. So we've got Joel. How are we doing, Joel? You're okay? I'm going to work out how to do this quite quickly soon. Luca, how are you, Luca? Away from Luca. An evening from Mick. Another Mick as well. Good evening to you as well. Good evening from you, Alex. Good evening, John. How are you? Hope you're well. And George is on as well. I can't see if we... Oh, and we forgot Craig as well. Nice to see you, Butt. Hope you're doing well. Right then. First of all, we'll start off with we've got our questions on this one this time, chaps. And chapesses, if there are any on. Oh, have we got any more? Oh, Nikos. Adam's on as well. Hello, Adam, as well. And Nikos as well. Hello, Nikos. Crikey, you're all coming up now. Hi, Joe, as well. Brilliant. Thanks. Well, really appreciate this. Thanks for all coming on board. This is great to see you all on. Yeah, we've got quite a few viewers, so we'll crack on with the presentation then. And I'm actually in view as well. Oh, God, this is working so well. Just for once tonight, eh? Right, well, so questions for you. And you can leave the comments in, so please just put them in comments. And then there's a couple of other questions as well. So when should you protect cables with conduit? There's a good one for you. So that's question number 1. Don't forget, just drop them in the comments. Oh, how many types and which type of tapes do you carry with you? Here's a good one for you. So this is like a bit of a survey. And if you've managed to do what I've done, which is basically cobble together a load from the back of your motor. So yeah, if you've got those, drop some pictures on in your comments and let's have a look at that as well. That would be really good. Okay. Right. And then the next one is, what's the difference? And then these will be good for the ones that have been on the Association of Vehicle Installers course. But what is the difference between cloth tape and fleece tape? So if you've been on the course, don't bother answering. So that means you, Luca, and all your other guys as well. No point in answering it then. But it'd be nice to have a little bit of a chat about what the difference is between cloth tape and fleece tape as well. So you might have to go off and do some homework now. But if not, then don't forget, you can always leave them all as photo comments later on. And when you revisit the stream, if you like afterwards as well. Okay, right. So hello and welcome everybody. Right, we'll go through this. So our introduction tonight is we're going to do a bit of cable routing and protection inside the cabin and passenger area. What type of protection will we need? What type of security will we need? And what type of sort of protection will we need in a visible area, should we say? Then we'll look at bulkheads and going outside, and then we'll look at outside the cabin as well. So inside the cabin and passenger area, protection is unshielded. You can tape it. You can use various tapes. I think, various loom tapes or cable ties. How do you secure it? Well, it's got to be with the good old cable tie, or with, you could, depending on the type of tape it is, the type of cable it is, or the type of, the type of cable it is, you could possibly secure it with a bit of gaffer tape as well. If it's only a small, it's a small diameter tape, I would say something like a microphone, you could probably, or a thin cable like signal cable, or maybe a dash cam cable, you could possibly sort of secure it with gaffer tape. But if we are going for security, we need to be looking at like either the OEM connection, the OEM type security clips, or even adding our own P clips as well. And then in the visible areas, what do we look at then? Well, it's got to be conduit in visible areas, or some kind of like loom tape, because that's just tidiness. The last thing you want is all wire stray. So unless it's in its own sheath, then I would say that definitely would need to be in conduit or taped, just for tidiness. Leave your comments. I'm all open for these sort of comments as well. And then tapes. Well, this is quite interesting because we're going to talk about like the difference between fleece and cloth. And the reason we talked about it is because I've had these questions before, and I actually did a little bit of research on this and thought, let's find out what actually is the difference between your fleece and your cloth tape, so to speak. So we'll open up me screen. Let's see if I can get this to work. Here we go. It's the fun part now. We go technical. Sorry, I've just muted myself. There we go. There's the technical problem started already. Sorry about that, chaps. Right, so here we go. We've got our tapes. We're back on sound now. Can you all hear me? I'm back on sound. Are we all good? Please say we all are now. Is there sound back on now? Give me the warning and say, yes, we're back on. Are we back on? Yes. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Andy. Thanks for telling me. Right. So we're back on. Phew. Right. So cloth tape is here. So this is our cloth tape. So this looks like more like a cotton shirt, so to speak. There it is there. And then we've got fleece tape, which is more like woolly, like a woolly sort of texture. And the difference between these is in use and where you would use it for looming. And it gathers itself from the OEM sort of specs as well, if you look at this. So the fleece tape is normally used for looms to stop resonance, stop vibration. So you might find that that's in an area like in a roof lining or something like that, or somewhere where it's likely to vibrate. Whereas this type of loom tape, this cloth sort of style loom tape, is normally found. It can be found internal, external, and also it is kind of semi-waterproof. It's not really waterproof, but it's there just to gather the cables. But the most important thing is you can use this inside and out, it's quite good if you are doing an installation. You using both of these really adds a bit of, you know, quality, especially if the vehicle OEM is, you know, is done in that sort of quality as well. So there you go. There's the two differences, and I hope you found that useful. But that's, so your fleece tape is used for in an area where there's vibration or there's likely to be vibration, and then your cloth tape is more like to mirror like an OEM sort of standard vehicle where there's where you want to cover up and make it look like it's part of the vehicle more. Okay, so I'm glad I hope you found that. Hope you found that informative. I've got some other tapes here, but we'll have a look at them as well. We're here. We might as well. We've got our normal insulation tape. I think we all use this, all in different varying quantities and qualities. What else have I got? We all use double-sided. Can't beat a bit of double-sided. And then we've got our, obviously, as we said, our gaffer tape. Good old gaffer. I've got an interesting one here, which is a bit like amalgamating tape, but it is a kind of an amalgamating tape, and this like locks against itself. It's quite clever, really. It's not really sticky, but it does stick against itself quite well. So I find that quite useful. Right, we'll move on. So, yes, there's your differences between fleece and cloth tape. So fleece is internal, it's to stop resonance, and I can't spell, ups a daisy. And cloth is internal and external loom tape. Sorry about the spelling mistake on that one. So when we go for bulkheads and going outside the cabin, we should be using grommets or glands. I would say that if you're going outside onto the roof area, or definitely outside to an outside where there's a lot, you know, where it has to sort of beat the elements, it's got to be a gland. You've got to, you wouldn't mess about and use glands. But grommets are great for just going through bulkheads, but you've got to make sure that it seals quite well around the cable. The better ones are the ones that seal around the cable. Or, you know, if you're going into the bonnet area or under the cab, you know, use the original manufacturer's glove, and and use the OEM gland. You could quite easily use that. Outside the cabin, as you've all posted, who actually said, who have you got? Conduit outside 100% for external runs. Yes. Should be protected with conduit and Copex. Yes. So that's we had Luca and Mick and Craig. Well done. You've got it bang on. You've hit on the head there. So yeah, you should be protected with Copex outside the cabin. And I would say actually in certain cases as well, you could actually go inside the cabin as well. So yeah, absolutely. In certain areas where it's exposed, I think it's quite nice to actually put it in conduit when it can be seen by the user, so to speak. Outside the cabin on special vehicles and ADR vehicles, that should be protected with sealed conduit, non-split. It should actually be, as we see there, protected with a sealed conduit or sealed Copex, and it should be non-split for obvious reasons. So we go back to those questions. When should you protect cables with conduit? So let's have a look. Who got it right? Craig. Nice one, mate. You've got it right. Even if it's just to make it, and then internal as well. You've actually said internal. Yeah, I'll put you up there. There we go. And then Mick said Onyx. Yes, that's it, on all external cable. Lucas said external as well. Yeah, so we got some good answers there. Thanks very much, guys, anyone that took part. And then how many types and which types of tape do you carry? I didn't see many answers, but yeah, let's have a look and see how many you carry. Let's have a look at your pictures, and that'd be great to hear how many you actually do carry. And our final question was, what's the difference between cloth and fleece tape? We did have some answers. Mick said one keeps reducing noise. Thanks, Mix. Yes, Dwayne, good answer. The texture is different, yes. And then, hold on. Here we go. Craig said something about cloth tape as well. I remember seeing it. Naughty to use fleece tape everywhere. I find VAG use Tacetape more often. I think is it Tessa or Tassa? I don't know. Anyway, well, that's it for tonight. Any questions, anybody? Be nice to have any questions. Is there anything that you want me to do a live stream on? Leave us your comments, and let's see what we can. Let's see what we can gather. And see what subjects we can do. It would be great to have. Some, some feedback on how we are doing on with these live streams. What do you think of these live streams? Do you think it's worthwhile? Is it is it worth any good? Leave your comments straight after. It would be great to find out what you think of it as well. And that's it for tonight. Next week, have we got any questions come up? It does take so long with these. Question: braid useful for anything apart from clean wire installs? Is braid useful for anything apart from clean wire installs? I wouldn't know. Also, ferrules. Ooh, yes, ferrules would be a good one because there's not a lot that we do with ferrules per se, and I think there's a big push to use ferrules, and I agree that on certain installs we should be using ferrules instead of just screwing straight in. Absolutely right, Craig. Definitely. Right. I don't think there's any more questions coming in, folks. Well, thanks ever so much for coming on. If you say goodbye and everything now, I'll leave all my comments as I go. But don't forget, we're on here every Wednesday night. Tell all your mates and friends about it. Let's have a big party on here one night. It's nice to have. Yes. Oh, James has said something that's quite interesting. Can I watch this and Jason as I've only joined? Yes, you can, James. If you can rewatch, it does. You can basically, as I come off now on live, it will basically sort of put you back on, and then you can put us back on, and you'll be able to watch it in about 5 minutes time, sort of thing. You can watch it all the way from the start. And the great thing about it is you can leave comments as well at certain points, so it comes up. And it's great to really appreciate everyone that's come on board tonight. Thanks ever so much. And next week, I forgot to mention, next week we have got fuses. We're going to talk about fuses and the importance of the right type of fuses. Well, thanks very much. I'm off for my dinner. Good night, everybody.